live. And we're going to start the music. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are live in life at a car dealership. It has been, it has been months, but we are back and we are glad to see you here. We're here to talk about all the things that get you excited, ladies and gentlemen. Today, joining me, our guest from Black Diamond Consulting Strategies, the one and only Mr. Trent Cannon. You know him from the group here. He and I have chatted at various times about different things, and we got him here on today as a guest to answer all of your social media questions. So yeah, let's fire it up. I think we're live. I think we're good. I think the feed's looking good. Let's hear your comments. Let's let you know. Let us know if you see us, right? If we got this thing going. And Mr. Cannon, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm going to check in to see if I can see myself in you. Again, I want to thank you personally for the invite. The group you're one is wonderful, and I think it's a great thing for people who are just getting into business or been in for a long time. They're able to see a lot of things. Are you reaching out to me? Are we in 3D?
My camera's out of focus. There.
Okay. I can see you. You look good.
That'd be cool if we were in, well, thanks, man. It'd be cool if we were in 3D, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because I ain't that cute. Started over there.
So yeah, no, for sure. We're glad to have you, and thanks for doing this here. So, so you are a social media expert, right? You run a company.
I hate the word expert.
Expert?
You know,
okay. Well, what word do you prefer?
I don't think anybody. There are not too many people experts at anything. I do social media, yes.
But you get paid to do it.
I do get paid to do it.
So doesn't that make you I mean, if you weren't an expert, nobody would pay you to do it.
No, that's true.
At the very least, you're a professional. Even if you're not an expert professional, you're at least a professional.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Well, that's cool. You want to give us some of your background story here and how you got started doing this thing or where you came from?
I, like most people, never intended to be in the car business. I was actually a director, co-founder of an information firm out in California. So my background was data and information, working with companies like Experian, Dun& Bradstreet for years. And then we had this crash in 2008, if you recall.
Yeah.
And we went down in about 2010 with it. And so I went to a bank, I went to work for a bank, and then I went to work for a telecom company that ended up going bankrupt too. And so like many people about that time, I was just like, I don't know what to do. And a friend of mine was at an Acura dealership, David Cocker, and had me come out there. A guy who passed, a lot of people know out of Houston, Jeff Johnson, who passed recently, is the one who got me the job at John Eagle Honda that was just bought by Lithia and Katie, or John Eagle Acura, I'm sorry. So stayed there for about a year, kind of bounced around, went to a few dealerships and got my feet wet as a customer relations manager. And then somebody figured out that I knew how to use the internet. You know, they're like, oh, this guy knows the internet. And I, became internet sales manager. And then I really cut my teeth at Robbins Nissan in Houston. I became the internet director there. We went from number 11 in the district to number 5, which was a huge deal for little old Robbins Nissan down there in Humble.
Yeah.
And then I got a big job at Clay Cooley in Austin. We went from number 73 in the country to number 24.
Cool.
And then I went to work for Nissan Corp. I'm giving you the whole long view.
The whole.
Yeah, and then I went to Nissan Corp as the digital advisor for the Gulf Coast. So I had 52 stores, with Nissan Corporation and CDK, the wonderful folks there, and really got the breadth of my experience and began to build digital online experiences for Clay Cooley and Bert Ogden and other groups down from there. So that's me.
Well, that's awesome. So you've been all across the whole gambit of things, doing digital marketing and social media marketing. And so I feel like there's really some value that you can bring to people here. Obviously, social media is something that we all do, right?
Right.
It's like now a normal part of the fabric of life. And there's all different ways to do it, right? Especially when you are representing a brand along with, your social media presence. There's a question there of like, how do we do this thing right? Right? Because I want to, post things and have a vibrant, social media presence that, that draws people toward me so that we can create a conversation and a relationship. But how do I know what's the right way to do that? I mean, I don't know if anybody saw just a few minutes ago, we had this post that was about to just blow up before it got taken down, right?
Shouldn't have taken it down.
Well,
Should have left it up.
that wasn't my call. Maybe next time we'll let it rage. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so controversial stuff like that, right? Guy posts a very strong opinion, which elicits very strong responses. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Um, you're asking like so some people who think I'm the king of controversy sometimes. I don't think there's any problem with controversy and drawing attention to yourself as long as you're not being mean or demeaning anyone in the process. Where I think that's probably where his post may have crossed the line.
Okay.
I don't know if a GM if I'm going to call out my customer base in the way that he did, but I don't think there's any problem with talking about subjects that bring a wealth of people to the table. That's what social media is for.
Yeah.
It's not so everybody can agree and you have an echo chamber of everybody saying the same thing.
Yeah, it seems like it's really way too easy to disagree way too strongly, though.
Oh yeah,
right?
Because you can't get punched in the mouth on Facebook.
Right.
In the bar, you can get punched in the mouth, but in Facebook, you can't get punched in the mouth. So you just say whatever on Facebook.
I mean, that's kind of always been my rule is that I wouldn't say things on Facebook or other social media channels that I wouldn't say to somebody in person for fear of being punched in the mouth. Right?
Yeah, it is.
It's like if this is something that's going to get me punched, maybe it's something I shouldn't say. So I've heard salespeople, and I've heard some very successful business owners say that you should never post anything personally that is like expressing an opinion one way or the other, politically, religiously. And I've heard salespeople and others that vehemently disagree with that say, no, it's a great way to drive engagement. And in fact, I get more sales from people that want to buy from someone similar to them than I lose out on by potentially alienating someone. What are your thoughts?
That is I actually posed that question recently in your group about, do you get traction from posting Trump support or BLM support or whatever have you that you support? Actually, it wasn't in your group. It was in a different group. It was in the sales professionals group. But I posed this question, and most people shy away from it. Like, don't post anything controversial. But then there are a lot of guys, and I know a few guys that are very successful, especially in this political environment. That hey, if you're a country boy from a certain part of the nation, and you're about whatever it is you're about. Other people are going to buy trucks from you because you have that point of view. And that's just a fact of life. That's a fact of sales. We tend to want people who assimilate and are like us to succeed and buy from them. Guy I know down in, talk about him all the time, down there in Rosenberg, Texas, Bubba Alvarez at Finnegan, Chevy and Chrysler. Bubba works 9 to 5. He sells 20 to 28 cars a month, sometimes 30 plus. Okay. He makes about $200,000 a year. I'm going to put your business out there, Bubba. And Bubba on Saturday is at the baseball game with his kids and teaching baseball. And everybody in that community knows Bubba Alvarez. He's successful. He fishes, he hunts, he does the things that the people around him do. And that's why he's successful. And then we miss that sometimes. Sometimes people want to buy from somebody just like them.
So the advice would be to pick your lane, the thing that you like, and just go with it. Be who you are in real life, and don't try to play both ends to the middle. Is that what you're saying?
To the best of your ability. Now there are certain instances. Hey, if you grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, like some of us did, maybe you're from South Central LA and from the hood, but now you're selling Rolls Royces. probably not the way to go. You know what I mean? You got to pick and choose your lane. Now you're out there in Glendale, California. You're out in the valley, with a little Calabasas with a little different crowd. Well, you probably want to leave Crenshaw at home. You know what I mean? So you pick and choose. You pick and choose your lanes, and try not to go too far to one side and the other and alienate people. But to your point, I think people appreciate when you're genuine, and they know when you come across genuine.
Yeah. So I think what you're saying then is, if I'm hearing you correctly, like we all exist in a context, right? We all exist in a particular environment. And so if I'm going to pick something to promote on social media, pick the thing from my context that is truest to me and kind of go that way. I'm getting in the weeds on this thing.
No, I think you're exactly right. Like I'm sitting here, I'm wearing a NASCAR jacket. I'm trying to button it up. I don't like it unbuttoned. I'm trying to button it up, but I can't find the button. So I'm wearing a Dale Earnhardt jacket. I do like NASCAR. Most people are surprised when I like NASCAR, but I wear this jacket intentionally because it brings other people that normally wouldn't associate with me or think that I associate with them together. Like, oh, there you got Casey Kane's jacket on. Oh, you're a Dale Earnhardt fan. I am. I like NASCAR. I know, but I also know NASCAR. I'm not doing it just because I want to wear the jacket. So if there's things that you actually conform with that aren't what normally people will think, that's good. Now you'll never see me post anything about hunting or fishing.
Yeah.
Because I don't hunt or fish.
Yep.
And I don't try to pretend like I know hunting or fishing. The only thing I know about guns is what I know from Call of Duty. So I stay out of those conversations.
Well, I mean, that could be pretty realistic depending on how you play the game.
True. Very true.
Cool. So what other advice can you give us as salespeople or service advisors? I feel like typically salespeople are the ones who are like sort of tasked with, making this thing work, right? It's always the sales manager that's up there saying, yeah, you need everybody get out and post on social media, right? And it's free and a reach and share it to the business page. And we got all this stuff, right? And everybody go. But service advisors too. What's the benefit there? What really, in your opinion, is like the best way or the best advice that you can give somebody who's trying to actually, build their business with social media?
If I was a service advisor or even a service tech, you have a wide open path. There are very few people doing what you do on social media and posting about it and making it effective. That is the place where I see tons of opportunity. If you are a service advisor and you're using social media effectively, pointing out just little things. Hey, this is when you need to change your tire. This is how you know that your battery is low. This is when you have that squeak. That's your suspension. You look at it and we did a couple at Ingram Park Mazda. Anybody wants to go look at it, they're still up on Ingram Park Mazda's Facebook. We took two service guys, they're 20-year certified techs, okay? And we did it professionally. There's lights and stuff that you can't see that were making these guys look good, but they go out and just point out little things. They got more engagement on those two posts talking about the suspension and talking about tire wear and talking about how to take care of your parts than anybody just saying, hey, this is a Mazda CX-9. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm so glad you talked about that. Service advisors and techs, master certified techs, you guys could be YouTube, social media, Facebook superstars if you do something effective.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think so. So like, what kind of stuff? I mean, you mentioned a video about suspension or lifts what other kind of things should people be posting? What should I post as a salesperson?
One easy one as a salesperson, nobody ever thinks about. You know how your headlights get foggy?
Yeah.
Okay. That's D. You can use off. You can spray off on your headlight and wipe it off.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's D is what takes off the stuff for the most part.
I did not know that. You can
that little thing, that little cool hooky trick. Hey, if your headlights are foggy, just spray the off on it and take it off. and doing little things like that instead of always sell, sell, sell. One thing that I hate, I don't want to say hate, that's a bad word, but guys posting pictures with their customers, no one cares. I mean, if
Interesting.
that's all that you do, every time you sell a car, you're posting a picture with your customer, that gets old. Everybody does it. Unless a good friend of mine, Kennedy Gibson, sold a car to, I think, to Marcus Lawrence the other day with the Cowboys. Well, that's cool. He's got a
That one you
bet.
probably want to post, right?
You want to see that, okay? But your average mom and Joe getting an Equinox, nobody's like, oh wow, Mary and Joe got an Equinox. So I'm not saying don't do it, but get out of that habit, and you have to start talking about things that people care about. One of the best ones I ever saw was a female, and she started talking about the vents in the back of the car. I think it was a Tahoe, and how the vents were on top of the car because cold air goes down, right? And so the kids is back there fighting, and the vents going down, and then they have their own little control if they're hot or cold or whatever, because kids, have different temperatures. And that little thing got her more reaction of moms and things asking about, the controls in the back of her car, because that's what they're worried about.
Well, I feel like I've heard you say that before. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I had holder on the back seat, okay, because the kids have to hold it. They're like 2-3 years old. They can't hold the iPad. So you put an iPad holder on the back seat, and then they can sit there and watch the thing. We're coming up on summer. Those are great things that you can talk about that some parents just don't know right offhand that are available.
So I think I've heard you say this before, but it seems like it's better to pick small things, like specific things, and focusing on that rather than just like, here's the new model or here's what's for sale. It's like, check out this specific feature on this specific unit and how it works or what it does for you, and that like really specific things will drive better engagement.
Right. And don't post every single day, because that's not good either. And when you're talking about price, actually talk about price. Don't just say MSRP and discount. Give a payment out there, because you're not withhold by the OEM standards.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go out there as a store and say this is $327 a month.
Yeah.
But you as a salesperson, you have a little bit more leeway to say this is $327 a month. You put $2,000 down at 5.9% or whatever interest rate you want to come up with. You have the leeway to say these things that you're not restricted by it. So say it, because that's what people want to know. How much is it going to cost me every month?
Yeah, no, that's great advice. If you're going to post price information, like post the whole thing, right? Put the payment on there. Yeah, I like that advice. I was going to ask you about like the cadence. What is you think the right cadence for for the algorithm, so to speak? Because I've heard people say you need to do 6 stories and 2 posts every day, right? If you want to be a regular part of this conversation. Like, do you think that's too much?
I think you post when you got something interesting, because nobody wants to see boring stuff.
Okay. That's fair enough.
When you got something interesting to say, you post. I just posted on my personal feed that the governor here, Governor Abbott, is going to do a demask. We don't have to wear masks on the 10th of March.
Okay. Wow.
I've been talking about it for a while, but it came ahead of time. I was thinking May, but now it's here. And I haven't looked at my Facebook, but I know I had 80-something comments. That's in a few months, and that talk about the topic of right now. That's the topic right now, right? That's a great thing. That's a great thing, positive thing. Now, if I was selling cars, I would have that, and I'm following up with something about cars.
Sure. Yeah.
Because all those people that just commented and liked my comment are now going to see me whatever I post on my next post. So be thinking about your next post, not this post, but what you're going to post next to bring people into your wheelhouse.
Is that an algorithm thing? Like, if you get a lot of engagement on one post, will your next post be shown to a wider audience?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, I need some of that advice personally, because I've told you this before. It's like, I feel like the stupid things I post get all kinds of attention, and the things I post, like this video, which has 3 people watching right now, we've been as high as 11, right?
Ooh.
But something like this that could actually bring value to somebody doesn't seem to get any traction, right?
It's 'cause I didn't button my jacket. If I
So
button my jacket, you get more. There you go.
yeah. So am I doing it wrong? Do I need to post some ridiculous political statement right before I'm getting ready to say something important?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have said something crazy like, I don't know, Al Sharpton's kid is coming on live. It's totally untrue, but whatever. Black guy that loves NASCAR, gonna talk social media. Tune in.
Yeah, right. We found him. He's here. We've been trying to track this guy down forever. So you mentioned you want to talk about Carvana a little bit. You want to shift gears for a second? I don't want to go too long. I'm trying to keep these to about, 20 to 30 minutes or less. Yeah. What did you want to talk about with Carvana?
Dealers need to be worried.
Yeah.
My wife used it recently against my wishes. She just did. I was like, don't even bother with Carvana. We don't need that. I'm calling my boy in Houston to get a buy bid, and she's like, I'm going to do the Carvana. I'm like, And Carvana hit the car like $3,000 higher than anybody else. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And first they actually hit it. They hit it at 18.6. And then she puts in her payoff, which was like 19, and they bumped it to 19.1 so they could cover her payoff. I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
I was like, well, we live in South Texas. We live on the border. Y'all don't know, I live on the border of Mexico, so we had to go to San Antonio to trade it in. But I was like, ask them what time they want to meet up, because I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Get in the car, let's go. But it was so simple, so easy. That was the scary part. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy met us somewhere in between McAllen and San Antonio at a gas station, picks up the car. She signed a couple papers. Within 10 minutes, she was gone.
Yeah.
I'm not converted to Carvana, but she is.
Yeah.
And that's what she's got to worry about. The more and more people that continue to use a product, just like Amazon, nobody was using it in 2005. And then all of a sudden, more and more people got on it, and boom, there you go. You have something that you can't get people off of.
So there's, it's really hard to get car people to row in the same direction on some things. But I feel like if we sort of made this universal decision, like, hey, we're willing to do this in a particular way. And really, I think we did during COVID. Like, I think everybody just all of a sudden figured out how to do deliveries remotely and became willing to go bring the car to people for them to test drive, and became willing to do the numbers sight unseen and drop the car off. But I think if we continue to tell that story, then we're even better, right? Because we have the infrastructure and we have the inventory right here on the ground, and we've got the people right here. Like, we could have had it done that same day, right?
100%. I started creating the buy online process for Clay Cooley in late 2017. And then came down to Bert Ogden, which is 15 stores in McAllen, to create the same deal. Different groups, but similar challenges. Integration. If it takes you 3 hours to do a deal, which 90% of you it does, there's a problem. If it takes you 20 minutes to get a pencil, there's a problem.
Yeah.
If your CRM is not connected to your DMS, the pricing and everything that you're doing, there's a problem. If your inventory management, like maybe it's Viato or dealers, like whatever it is, isn't your syndicator for everything, all your third parties, you have a problem. There's a lot of groups that have problems. Group One was one that I was amazed by. I went to a Group One store just for a bit, and I told David Fesmeyer and Daryl Kinningham, who's the president, I said, Clay Cooley is far, far past you on integration. We are ahead of Group One, even though you're a $1 billion company. Their integration was a mess in 2018. Now they've cleaned it up since they've gone to digital retailing, but they had 3 different inventory tools, pricing tools. So what I'm afraid for a lot of franchise dealers is they don't realize they're kind of like frogs that are boiling in a pot.
Yeah.
Right? things are good right now. We figured out used cars. We're getting past through things right now, but it's getting very hot in here.
Yeah.
Echo Park and Vroom and Carvana, and there's other players out there. A lot of these e-auto players are getting way, way better.
Yeah.
And if Tesla figures out a way to break this new car franchise deal, we're in real, real serious trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I'm always a proponent of things. Obviously, my business is people, and I'm always a proponent of things that engage people, right? We have people engaging people. And I feel like the whole, online only digital retailing and the Echo Park and the CarMax and everything, basically you take your job that used to provide for somebody, right? Mm-hmm. That used to pay in the neighborhood of $50,000 to $150,000 a year or more, and you turn it into a $15 an hour job, and so I'm not a, I'm not a socialist by any means, but it's like we got to act right now to figure out how to keep this thing alive, right? Because guess what? The customer is not going to be the one that saves the money, right? The company, the big corporate entity is going to still make the same per transaction. They're just going to pay everybody a lot less.
Yeah, 100%. And the real Car Gurus and Auto Trader, if you've noticed that they now have digital retailing literally on their VDPs.
Yeah.
I told Car Gurus a couple years ago that there's no reason why you guys can't sell cars. Yeah. You could literally sell cars from Car Gurus, cut out the dealer if they wanted to. They didn't want to do this. I'm not saying that they want to do it, but they literally have the ability to cut out a dealer, cut out a salesperson, just send the dealer the deal, and maybe not every single dealer will take it, but a lot of them would. Yeah. You send them a car deal that they can do, and it's got credit, and it's got a buyer, and it's got money in the bank, and they want to buy my vehicle that I have in stock. Absolutely, I'll take the money. I mean, yeah. That's just it. That is what it is.
Yeah. So it's on us, right? So I guess that's maybe where we'll end it. Is it's on us, right? So all of this, be better in everything that we do. I've always said that we are in the people business, right? The business of our business is people. And that's what we get paid for. We get paid to be really good at the people stuff. And if we're not going to rise to the challenge in this moment in the next couple of years and earn our paycheck and be really good at the people stuff, then we're out.
100%.
Within 10, 15 years, we're out of it completely. So, hey, everybody, rock out your social media, okay? Dealerships, rock out your social media. We obviously exist in this space because we believe in it, and we love the business. We're car guys, right? And so we believe this is a viable business, and will continue to be. So I kind of feel like we ended on a downer. I don't know. Why do we should have ended on something positive. There's hope, right, Trent? I mean, there's hope.
Is great. Here, let me give you something positive because I brought a lot of negative. Okay?
We can win the day here, man. We can do this.
Something positive, okay? The ability for an individual salesperson to sell 30 to 50 to 100 cars a month has never been greater.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Individual salesperson, and I'm going to say something. And GMs, okay? Look at your Alex Flores's. Look at your Brian Benstocks. Look at your El Patrons. Look at these guys becoming major superstars in the business using social media. David Mouse Jr. These guys are using it effectively. And if you are a GM, and a lot of you guys, I know a lot of good people, but you're 45 plus, you're 50, you're not really into the Snap, the Instagram. That's not really your thing.
It's time to get into it.
Somebody is going to pass you up if you don't get on it. Okay. If you don't know how to do social media, call somebody that does, because you're going to get passed up. And it's the guys that are like Alex Flores, okay, a great example, who really is only just good at, I don't want to say that's the only thing he's good at. He's a good operation manager, but he's really just putting himself everywhere and making himself bigger. Charlie Clark has done the same thing down in McAllen. So if you're going to push your people to do it, you have to do it too, because there's nobody that wants to buy from a salesperson as much as they want to buy from you. I'll leave it right there.
I love that. Yeah, everybody has the opportunity to be a local celebrity, right? You can be a celebrity in your town. The tools are there. The technology's there. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. Rocking out with the boy Trent Cannon. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, everybody just make it a great day. It's Tuesday, kind of settling into the week here. Time to rock this thing, right? Turn it on, folks. Let's rock.